This is County Executive Warren Evans, and this is Inside Wayne County.
Hello and welcome to Inside Wayne County. I'm your host, Lloyd Jackson, and this show is designed to give you important information about what's going on inside Wayne County government. Today, I'll take you inside the Wayne County Clerk's Office, which is responsible for carrying out the statutory obligations of administering federal, state, and county elections conducted in Wayne County, but also carries out many other statutory mandated functions. I'd like to welcome to Inside Wayne County the Wayne County Clerk, Kathy Garrett. Madam Clerk, thanks for spending a little time with me today.
Thank you for inviting me, and this is so long overdue.
Happy to have you here. You know, we like to introduce the residents to the guests on Inside Wayne County. So let's find out a little bit about who Kathy Garrett is and talk about your background, your education, and how you got to Wayne County.
Well, it seems like it's a long story now, but I'm a Detroiter. The fact that I've always been politically astute, so to speak. I was a precinct delegate from the age of 18, which kind of gave me a little preview of who's who and about the politics. I've worked in nonprofit, I've worked in the medical field, and as far as government, in 2001, that was my first introduction to being employed in government. But for the majority, for 15 years, I was in the DMC as a respiratory care practitioner, and the course of study was through the California College of Respiratory Therapy. I've worked in a welfare to work program as far as at-risk youth and ex-offender programs. So everything that I've done has been relevant to customer service and is all about the people.
You deal with the people on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
I saw something in your office that I saw on the wall, and I mentioned this to you before, that it says that, you know, the customer is not your interruption. The customer is the reason that you're there.
Absolutely. I try to keep things as basic and factual as I can, and I remember with growing up, it was always said to me, treat people the way that you want to be treated. When you're young, it's like, yeah, all right, but it's true.
It is.
So that's my mantra pretty much through any type of relationship, whether it's work-related, personal, or whatever. I want to treat you the way that I want to be treated. And so for the employees, I try to just spread that the taxpayers are why we're here.
Give me an overview of what happens in the county clerk's office. So many different departments and areas. Talk about that if you could.
I think the title of clerk is kind of just taken out of context. I think people think that you sit and push papers all day, but I had a little corny slogan that I said, the pathway to your life inside Wayne County inside of Wayne County leads to the Wayne County Clerk's Office. So we have a vital statistics division, which is birth and death records, marriage license, assumed names if you want to open up a business, notaries, CCW permits. I'm the clerk of the Third Circuit Court, which is criminal, juvenile, and family court. That simply is at the point that you or your attorney decide that we need to take this to court. It's initiated from the county clerk's office. As far as when you go into that courtroom, the individual that's sitting next to the judge, that's the county clerk's office at your service. In the event you have to stop at the bond office, and I've been saying this since 2001, know that when you stop at the bond office, that too is the county clerk's office at your service. For all records court relevant, that's the county clerk, that's the keeper of the records. For elections, state, county, and federal elections, that's the county clerk's office. We have a personal protection order division. You might go to your police precinct, however, it brings you right back. So all aspects of your life is inside the county clerk's office. So it's much deeper than just stamping and pushing papers.
Because people have come to me and they say, you know, the clerk's office, they handle elections, but it's so much more than just the elections. And when you handle elections, talk about what actually you do in those elections.
If I can simplify it, the county clerk, and there's 43 communities within Wayne County, excuse me, the county clerk is the umbrella, so to speak, to get you prepared for those state, county, and federal elections. So for all of those local clerks, my charge is administrative as far as dealing with the printer, as far as making just making sure that everything is in order and that those clerks have what they need to run those elections.
Another part of the clerk's office is being the clerk to the Board of Commissioners, the Wayne County Board of Commissioners.
I'm glad you brought that up because there's been so many facets to this job. And what I have noticed around the state of Michigan specifically, in other counties, the county clerk is the clerk to the Board of Commissioners. So I don't know if that's some type of deal that was made pre-2001.
Okay.
And but that is a concern, but that's on the back burner because of so many other things that's going on. So currently there's an acting clerk to the Wayne County Commissioners that happens to be individuals that is a part of the Board of Commissioners. You're opening up a can of worms.
I'm opening up
here.
a can of worms. Well, you got to let the people know what's going on, and that's what we're here for inside Wayne County. The CPL. People come to you to get the license, the actual license. How does that work?
That's one of our most busiest divisions of the clerk's office, and I don't want to say they go together, but marriages and CPL. There's some new things on the horizon. However, we'll deal with the now.
Okay.
When you come to the clerk's office after you've gone through your 8-hour course of saying I understand and about what it is to have a gun, you have to bring a certificate forth to the county clerk's office. You bring that certificate with your ID. You fill out the appropriate documentation, you're fingerprinted, and then it goes through the whole process, and either you're approved or denied. If you're denied, you'll get a letter. If you're approved, it goes before the gun board, and you'll get your permit. But there are some changes that will be in effect December the 1st, where there will no longer be a gun board. All of those behind the scenes processes and administrative type things now are put on the county clerk's office. And instead of it going through the sheriff's department, now it's with the state police.
Right.
And I mean, and it's time frames that have changed and all of that. But the main thing is that you've got to go through that 8-hour course, fill out your application, bring all of that forth, and then we just make it happen.
Now there's a campaign finance division as well. Talk about that if you could.
Campaign finance is kind of the watchdog to make sure that those folks that are elected or desiring to be elected, that you're in compliance with the law. And if I can toot my own horn, and the buzzword is transparency. So in the Wayne County Clerk's Office, and my time frame is shot, it's probably been about 4 to 5 years, we invested in a state-of-the-art campaign finance system where it's total transparency, where just by moving the mouse you can file your report of those that care to peek and see what's going on with those candidates or their committee. In your own home, you can go online. So we do online campaign filing, or for those that don't raise as much money or still are not technologically savvy, you can come in and file your report, but that's real important.
Third Circuit Court, you're the clerk of the Third Circuit Court, the duties there.
For the Third Circuit Court, that's criminal, juvenile, and family court. And to simplify that, I try to keep things simple for understanding. That works for me. At the point that you have to go to court, your court case is initiated from the standpoint of the county clerk's office. So filing your papers and the processes that come behind that to get it to court. Once you get into court, that individual that's sitting there next to the judge, that's the county clerk at your service. That individual's responsibility is to make sure all your records are in order. At that point, it's transmitted where it's in our file room in the event for whatever the following circumstances are, but it's criminal, juvenile, and family court. Also, the bond office is a part of the county clerk's office should it, you need to go to the bond office.
And speaking of records, are you the keeper of all the county's records when people are looking for records? Because I'm saying this because sometimes, you know, the people have FOIA requests and they are looking for records. Are you the keeper of all those records or just certain records?
Historically, I am the keeper of the records, but there is, again, some inside politics. But yes, in short, I'm the keeper of the records. We have a archive building that is on Jefferson. It's the Vigliotti building where all the records are housed, and then there's some out in Southgate.
The marriage and death licenses as well. Now, sometimes people get mixed up, and I'm glad you're here so we can clarify this, because like a death certificate, a lot of people thought, well, I go to the city for a death certificate, or I go to the city for my birth certificate. That's not so?
Let me say this, and I'm so proud and just honored that with all of the different changes that were going on in the city of Detroit, and just to put it in my terminology, Herman Kiefer, which you're a Detroiter, historically that was where Detroiters went for their birth or death records.
Right.
So as of a year ago, when all the different things were going on in the city, that was kind of up for grabs.
Okay.
And I just was in the right place at the right time to have the right conversation. And it only made sense to me because for all of the other communities within Wayne County, we had the information. So now we have the city of Detroit also, but because of the volume that is housed in a different building for now with our new county exec, maybe we'll get one big building for all of it, but it's over at 640 Temple. So if you're looking for a birth record or a death record for the city of Detroit, it's at 640 Temple. Any other community within Wayne County, it's in the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center.
Now let's get to the marriage licenses. You've been doing marriage licenses, of course, I'm sure, for, you know,
since 2001.
But now with the new law and same-sex marriage being approved in all 50 states, you were proactive on that. When that came out, when that decision came out, you did something like right away.
Let me say why, and let me say this. When I first became the clerk, there were only what was known as mass ceremonies, where everybody, whatever your thing was, you got married at the same time. But now, as of 2003, we have private ceremonies. But in reference to what you asked, when that little window, and I don't remember the date, the month, or whatever, but when that window of opportunity became available for Michiganders to be able to have same-sex, it was on a Friday. After the office was closed.
Yes, it was.
We don't open on weekends. So it was like, okay, missed opportunity. But I did know, because of all of the other states that it was legal, I knew it was inevitable that it was coming here. So with the folks that helped keep me strong, we got together, and I'm a proactive versus reactive individual. So I was surprised that during that window of time that the documents, it didn't matter that the state hadn't provided those, and people were scribbling things out. So what we did, we knew it was going to happen. Everybody was watching the Supreme Court decision. So what we did, we got our documents ready, we got the team ready, because if it went down on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we were ready, and we were ready. And I'm so proud and happy that that we all came together collectively, and it was a very seamless process.
And so you continue to have these, or was that just for that time? You continue to have these mass?
Know how toys are us, marriages are us. In the county clerk's office, I'm gonna say the only difference is what we noticed a couple of years ago. It's a peak in June, July. So no different than any other time. We did everyday mass ceremonies for the month of July. But it's been a standard that every Friday at 3 p.m. there's a mass ceremony. Other than that, there's the privates Monday through Thursday, as well as Friday if that's what you want. So we just kept it moving with what our normal status was.
Your office is here in the Coleman A. Young Municipal Building, but you have satellite offices as well, because you want to make it easier and for the residents of Wayne County.
I ran on that in 2000 as far as satellite offices. So I think it's been since 2004. We have a satellite in Westland. We have a satellite in Northville Township. So yes, we do. And then we also have late nights on Thursday in the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. We're open for the vital statistics only. We're open until 7 p.m. Everything that I have strived to do is based on, what would work for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and the fact of is, so I'm just proud. That's all I can say.
And I know with all the things that you have under the clerk's office, you can't do it yourself. You have some great people working for you. And I always like to shout out the workers because
you don't have to shout them out. I do it for myself. I do it for myself, and it's not a time that I'm afforded the opportunity to speak. I get it. I'm only as strong as the people that support me, the foundation that helps lift me. So yes, and I often say we defy in the county clerk's office what people say about public service workers. I couldn't ask for a better staff. And you look at it in any organization, corporation, or whatever, it's always going to be a percentage. But I'm proud to say, I'd say it's 99% in the county clerk's office. They're committed employees that are they just want to serve and get the job done.
There was a time that the clerk's office also did passports, but that was done away with.
Yeah.
You know, is that because it was just not popular? People were so used to going to the post office, probably.
Pretty much, that's the way it was.
You know, so and also I wanted to ask you, because I have to ask you this. I ask a lot of the elected officials.
You don't have to.
I have to ask you this. Do you see another layer of politics for the county clerk? Do you see that, you know, would you retire as county clerk and maybe go to a higher office? Something you ever thought about?
Listen, it's funny you said that. I just said this to someone 2 days ago. I'm blessed and fortunate to have been elected by the people to be the county clerk. Nothing on earth is perfect, but we can strive to make it as close to perfect as we want. So I say all that to say, get your stuff straight and make your office as close to perfect as you can, and then maybe focus on something else. So I'm just proud, honored, and truly blessed to be the county clerk, and that's my focus. And I know usually politicians say, but I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you as Kathy Garrett, and that's just how I feel. I couldn't ask for a better office, a better opportunity. The group of folks that work with me, I'm cool right where I'm at.
And I'm sure there's still more work to do.
Yes, it is.
Because I know you want things to be as close to perfect, and you're going to continue to strive to make that happen.
Yeah, that's the whole mission.
All right, Kathy Garrett, thank you so much for being here inside Wayne County.
Thank you.
On upcoming shows, I'll take you inside more Wayne County departments and introduce you to the people in charge and the many services they provide. It's all with the goal of keeping you up to date with everything going on inside Wayne County. I'm Lloyd Jackson. See you next time.